Hi, my name's Sharon Clark. I'm the president and founder of Their Voice Portugal, which is an association for the protection of horses, donkeys and mules in Portugal. We started the association on June the 12th, 2015, after seeing there was a huge problem with animal welfare within Portugal, with no one being a voice to help them. Since we started in 2012, we've successfully rescued and rehomed approximately 1,500 horses. Unfortunately, in Portugal, there still doesn't exist any laws to protect horses. The only law that does exist is that a horse must have a microchip. The horses here are seen as things and not beings. So at the moment we're working with the government to try and change horses' status from things, from objects, to living beings, so that we can get some laws to protect them. This is going to take some time. It will be looked at in September of this year, 2017, and we're hoping by 2018 the new law will come in and horses will be seen as living beings, where we can then get some laws in place to stop the neglect and abandonment of so many horses throughout the whole entire country. So Elmo came to us in December of 2015. He came along with a 15-year-old mare called Cristalina, who was his very best friend. I'd had a call from a lady who had bought a property, and when she arrived at the property, the old owner had left 2 horses there. She wasn't a horse person and really didn't know what to do with the horses, so she decided to give them to a local riding school. Unfortunately, the riding schools can be a little bit hard for the horses here. I wouldn't say that all of the riding schools here are big on horse welfare, which really showed when the 2 horses arrived. It had got to the point that neither one of the horses could work anymore. Elmo was very sick and very skinny, and he just couldn't work anymore. So they actually called a local meat man to bring me the horses. So the horses, when they arrived, had been on a truck for over 24 hours with no food and no water. So when Elmo came off the truck, he almost collapsed. He was very weak, very hungry and very thirsty. They were both very friendly horses. They didn't seem to have fear of people, but Cristalina was very suspicious of people always. When we tried to separate them, even just to take Elmo to clean his hooves or brush him or anything, they both became very, very stressed, so they had to be together at all times. We later discovered that Elmo actually has a lot of melanomas. He has melanomas inside him and under his tail, which is a form of cancer and very dangerous for horses, especially when they have the melanomas inside them. They could burst, and then obviously the horse will pass away. He also suffers from a disease that is carried by ticks called tick fever. And with this disease, he loses his appetite, he becomes very skinny, and the treatment for that is also very dangerous for him. Last year he had to have the treatment twice, and we had a lot of problems with his melanomas last year also. But this year we've kept him inside, so he's not in the direct sunlight, and the melanomas have been much calmer. They've been much easier to manage this year. And I think also because he hasn't been out in the sunshine, the tick fever hasn't been a problem this year also. We were always worried what would happen to Kristalina when Elmo passes away, because Elmo is now 31 years old. But sadly last year we had a major shock when we came up in the morning and Kristalina had passed away in her sleep. Elmo was extremely traumatized by the loss of his friend. So since then we've been trying to find other horses for him to bond with, which we've done quite successfully. Unfortunately, he's chosen a mare to bond with at the moment that's just found a home in Vienna. So now we're looking to put one of our older mares with him to give him companionship for the rest of his life. He's a fantastic soul, he's a wonderful horse. The old horses really have a story to tell. Even through the years of abuse, which you can clearly see within his body, he's still such a lovely soul. We now know from one of our vets that Elmo was a very famous bullfighting horse for many, many years. So he's served a lot of people, and sadly at the end of his life, he was worth nothing to anyone. So we were very honoured to take him in and give him the love and care that he deserves for the rest of his life. Bless him.